I'm a climate champion from Karnataka.
हांव गोंयचें क्लायमेट चॅम्पियन जावन आसा.
I'm climate champion from Ladakh. July. My name is Stanzin. I'm from Ladakh. We used to rush to the mountain since there was flood in 2010. When I was in Delhi for my graduation, I've seen the stroke of heats there since I was going there for the first time, and the amount of waste that I've seen there. I've heard that there is a mountain, but it's of waste. So from there, I've seen that many of the people are saying Ladakh as a paradise and all. But there are always two sides of the coin. Then I have started visiting to places like MRF, material recovery facilities. And I've seen that there are huge challenges there. Waste segregation was important thing that I've seen. Source segregation now the government is promoting, but still it has some issues. And also it led to the formation of a small youth group, LLTP, that is Lothun Luptuk Sospape in our regional language. It is United Youth Group of Phey. And I sort of tried to engage those youth in our village and other villages as well. 2-3 cleanliness drives that I did. One with particularly with the children, and one with youth, and one with the elderly people, including all stakeholders, I would say. And also did some of like tours, eco tours that I say, to material recovery facility. And individually, I have been a part of 2-3 workshops. One was climate change and gender. So that intrigued me into looking more in terms of how climate change is affecting gender. And then I started like my own thing, like standing with a board in the bazaar in terms of like awareness for locals, but mostly for those that who are coming as a tourist. They don't know much about Ladakh and the practices that we do, but they don't do. They have their certain own practices that they bring there. So that is kind of like harmful for the region, I would say. And I was also a part of small groups, volunteer groups with Snow Leopard Conservancy. From there, I've also seen in terms of climate change, and also in terms of biodiversity, and in terms of the animals that are somehow suffering. That snow leopard is one of the most prominent predator and the only predator at the top. So how that predator is affecting due to climate change. Now with their contribution, they have gone like, it has also been published in many publications that the population has increased due to activeness and all. Specifically in terms of the region that I belong to, that is in Leh. So the engagement has been increased. Panchayati system is there, but previously we have our own system, that is Goba system. He is the head and he deals with all the engagement in villages. So particular Gobas and the president there are there. The engagement has been increased drastically, and recently 2-3 drives has already been done in our village, that is Phey, and the next village, that is Pituk, with some organizations like Magic Bus Foundation and all. I approached to one of the Sarpanch of our region, Farka. So he is very much interested in engaging with us. He has laid the foundation for waste segregation in our village. So he has started that part. I'm seeing that there are engagement more in terms of youth as well as in terms of the representative as well. I would say that youth are the future, but they don't have only the burden. Also the representative, those who have created the problem are also into it. Should be there. The importance of youth is that they are facing those challenges. So they would be aware, they would be into the solution in terms of making the solution. So many of the youths are doing their part in terms of like informally doing that. So NYCC is a platform that I am seeing that it acts as a formal to engage with many of the stakeholders, and they would take it seriously as well. So I am seeing it as a platform that I can raise my voice and it would be heard.
I'm Vaibhavi Vishwas from Goa. I'm currently assistant professor in Damodar College. I teach environmental studies there, and previously I've also taught zoology. As a student, when I was introduced to different biodiversity that was there around, like I was working also for PBR surveys in my villages in Goa, and thereon we also did a project on golden jackals. And when we started working very close to the nature, did we understand that there are so many different variety of butterflies, ants, and each one had unique names. And then in my classes when we used to learn, we used to hear a lot of these things about climate change, how they're affecting the biodiversity there. For example, the seasonal changes are affecting the flowering periods of the flowers, the trees, and the migratory birds that migrate from all over different countries and they come to this particular space. So then I realized that there's so much of connection in different animals and plants which are getting so much affected by the climate change, and they're voiceless, right? They can't express it. Oh yeah, there might be some bioindicators and we might only know if they go, locally, regionally extinct or something. So that was something that actually gave me a kick and I felt I should be entering into this field. And I've been also part of different organizations in Goa that are working with regards to the wildlife, with regards to the biodiversity conservation and the awareness campaigns that they do in the schools and colleges. So I think the major work that I've done with regards to the biodiversity or conservation is on the jackals in Goa. So we then realized that people were calling them as foxes. And we don't have foxes in Goa, right? So jackals play an important role there because they are having a lot of ecosystem values. They give a lot of ecosystem services. They are scavengers. They eat the dead and decaying things. So it kind of keeps the environment clean and also doesn't promote any kind of diseases to the society. Even as a part of the NYCC champion, I want to make a jackal as an ambassador, and we want to get the people's awareness, people's attention towards this jackal. So young people are very innovative, creative, and having them in the spaces, I think we can have lots of ideas, and they are the ones who are going to face the brunt of climate change so adversely. So I think they should be aware at least about them, because not everyone is aware about the climate change. So I think it's important that they be a part of some initiatives like this, volunteer in different NGOs that are already working in that spaces, or maybe be a part of my little project as well that I will be starting with the help of the NYCC as an NYCC champion from Goa. Being a climate champion of Goa, I think it's a kind of a recognition that I'm getting here for the kind of work, and the youth might also want to be associated with me for future work on the climate action.
Matraga Namaskara. Hi everyone, my name is Pranesh. I am from Nelladi, Mangalore, Karnataka. My village is the part of the region of Western Ghats. There is a lot of projects, especially road widening, national highway road widening project and all things. The loss of lot of trees and some of the elephants, they can't cross one side to another side and all things. There is one project is happening, the river diversion project, one of the biggest river in the Mangalore side. The loss of the biodiversity is very high, and the people are not aware about this all thing, but it's impacting other animal life and also the local people. We started to understanding the Western Ghats. So we are part of Western Ghats, but we are not aware about how it's important. We started with first mobilizing youths, our friend circle only. So we are mobilizing 30 youths. So then we'll call one resource person and ask them take one session on any issues on around that. So we started something like that. We started on working on EIA. The draft is newly drafted. That time we did some things in our place, especially in the national highways. What happening, there is lot of the elephant corridors are there, but when the construction takes place is very long term. It's like their planning is 5 years, but its took place is like happening after 10 years something like that. From forest department we are getting very quickly responses, so it makes us more inspiration to do more work. Still we are training more youths, so we are like co-exploring. We are also learning, the mutual learning. Majorly it's intergenerational justice. If you're talking, we are not getting the justice. I'm not telling the youths are more energetic and all things. So we have our own vulnerabilities, but the government or society is not looking that vulnerability. So in that, the climate change, whatever happening, it's also affecting on us. And also we are the best person can address this, because we are the present also, the future also.